You finally paid off your credit card. Zero balance, zero interest, zero stress. You log into your banking app feeling responsible, disciplined, in control. Then you check your credit score. It dropped 22 points. No late payment, no new account, no hard inquiry. Just a silent penalty you never saw coming. If that has ever happened to you, especially if you're rebuilding or starting later in life, this is the moment everything clicks. I've spoken with people who did this for months, paid on time, carried no debt, felt proud of themselves, and still couldn't figure out why their score kept stalling. One person was 6 months away from applying for a mortgage. Another was trying to qualify for a small business loan. Same story, same confusion, same invisible ceiling. Welcome to Ben's Money Milestones, where late starters build real wealth. Today, I'm going to show you the credit card mistake that quietly costs people thousands in borrowing power, and how one small timing shift can make your score jump almost instantly. And no, it's not about the due date. It's about a different date your bank barely mentions. Let's break the illusion. Most people treat the payment due date like it's sacred. Miss it and you get hit with fees and a negative mark that can sit on your report for 7 years. That part is true. But here's what no one explains clearly. Your credit score doesn't care when you pay. It cares what your balance looks like on one specific day each month. That day is your statement closing date. Think of the credit system like a security camera. It doesn't live stream your behavior. It takes one still photograph per month and sends that image to the credit bureaus, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. Whatever balance appears on that statement is the number that gets reported. Not what you owe after you pay. Not what you owe by the due date. What you owe the moment the billing cycle closes. Here's how it works. Let's say your credit limit is $3,000. Throughout the month, you spend $1,800. Your statement closes on the 20th. Your payment isn't due until the 14th of next month. If you wait until the due date to pay it off, your statement will report $1,800. That's 60% utilization. Even if you pay it in full, even if you never pay interest, your credit report shows 60%. And that matters more than most people realize. Under the widely used FICO model, payment history makes up 35% of your score. Right behind it at 30% is amounts owed, which is largely driven by credit utilization. Almost 1/3 of your entire score depends on one simple fraction, balance divided by limit. Below 10%, excellent. Between 10 and 30%, acceptable. Above 30%, risk signal. Above 50%, red flag. Near 100%, free fall. And here's the brutal part. The system does not average your behavior. It only sees the snapshot. You could spend responsibly, pay in full, never carry debt. But if the camera catches you at 60%, that's the image that gets stamped on your report for the month. This is especially painful for late starters trying to rebuild or accelerate. You're doing everything right, but the algorithm doesn't reward effort. It rewards optics. And the real-world cost is not abstract. A score that sits 40 to 50 points lower than it should can mean a higher interest rate on a mortgage, sometimes by a full percentage point or more. On a $300,000 home loan, that difference compounds into tens of thousands of dollars paid to the bank over time, all because of a snapshot taken at the wrong moment. Now, here's the good news. Utilization has no memory. Unlike a missed payment that can linger for 7 years, utilization resets every single month. If you were at 70% last month and report 4% this month, the algorithm recalculates as if that 70% never existed. One clean snapshot replaces the last one. So what's the fix? You don't change how much you spend. You change when you pay. Instead of waiting for the statement to generate, you pay before the statement closing date. 3 to 4 days before your cycle ends, make a manual payment that drops your balance below 10%, ideally between 1 and 7%. If your limit is $3,000, aim to have $30 to $150 showing when the statement cuts. Then let the statement generate with that tiny balance. After that, you pay the remainder before the due date. You report a tiny balance. You pay 0 interest. Maximum credit impact. Same spending, different timing. If this just shifted your perspective, tap like. It helps more late starters see this. Now let's refine it further. You might think reporting 0 on every card is ideal. It isn't. If all your cards show 0 month after month, the model sees inactivity. You look dormant. Data from high scores shows most people in the 800 plus range report small balances, typically 1 to 7%, not 0. There's even a strategy often called all 0 except 1. Pay every card to 0 before their statement dates. On one card, leave a tiny balance, maybe 1% of the limit. Let it report. Then pay it off by the due date. That signals active, controlled credit usage. Reporting a balance is not the same as carrying a balance. One builds your score. The other costs you interest. Now, a warning. Do not confuse strategic timing with credit cycling. If you have a $2,000 limit and push $6,000 through it in a month by repeatedly maxing and paying it down, that can trigger fraud reviews or account shutdowns. Stay within your limit. If you're constantly brushing against it, request a credit limit increase instead of gaming payments. Another common mistake, closing old cards. Your total utilization is calculated across all available credit. Close a card with an $8,000 limit and your denominator shrinks instantly. Your debt stays the same. Your percentage spikes. Even if you don't use the card, keeping it open strengthens your utilization ratio. Put a small recurring charge on it. Enable autopay. Let it quietly expand your available credit ceiling. And while we're talking about limits, if you haven't reviewed your credit limits in the last 12 months, now's the time. Many issuers will approve a soft pull increase with no impact to your score. A higher limit with the same habits immediately drops your utilization percentage without you changing a single habit. It's one of the fastest zero-cost levers available to you. Call the number on the back of your card, ask for a review, and let the math work in your favor. Most people never ask. That's exactly why most people never get it. Here's your execution plan. Step 1. Open a recent statement and find the statement closing date. Not the due date, the closing date. Step 2. Set a calendar reminder 3 days before it. Step 3. On that day, check your balance and pay it down to 1 to 7% of your limit. Step 4. Let the statement generate. Step 5. Pay the remainder before the due date. 0 interest. Optimize reporting. Controlled optics. This level of precision matters most when you're within 60 days of applying for a mortgage, auto loan, or business credit. The rest of the year, staying under 20% is usually sufficient. But when you want to cross into elite territory, timing is everything. This is one of those small shifts that compounds. Lower rates, better approvals, higher limits, stronger negotiating power. And for late starters building real wealth, borrowing power is leverage. You don't need hacks, you need understanding. So here's my question for you. What percentage is your highest balance card reporting right now? Under 10%, between 10 and 30%, or above 30%? Drop the number in the comments. And if this helped you see the system more clearly, subscribe to Ben's Money Milestones, where late starters build real wealth. I'll see you in the next one.